this is blasphemy. Why are you wearing a hoodie? And I'm like,
It's
it was
cold
cold.
outside.
Like,
Welcome to Her Sports Convo with Ashleigh Wilson. On this week's episode, we have Cameron Riley. He's a golfer. He went to FAMU. As you know, y'all, we don't really talk about golf up here, but I'm really excited to, dip our toe onto the greens, as they say. Thank you so much, Cameron, for being here.
thanks so much for having me, Ashley.
First, I want to start off with is how did you get into golfing? Like, that's not really something common, especially people of color do. So how did you get into that?
Yeah, so it's crazy. So I grew up all around the Caribbean. So when we made our stop in the United States Virgin Islands, my main two sports were soccer and swimming competitively. So like golf was nowhere on my radar. I was just an active kid. And during the off season, my mom was like, "Nah, you gotta get out of the house on Saturday, Cam. Like you can't just be sitting around." So she's like, "All right, go with your dad." So my dad took me to the range because he had just started playing too. Then I took the club and I hit my first ball, and I was just love at first sight, love at first contact. It was just amazing. So and I just got stuck with the golf bug ever since then. So that's how it really started. And then I started getting better and better. Started meeting more people, playing in bigger tournaments, and then now we're here playing professionally.
I mean, that's kind of crazy that you started that way. But I mean, when most people play any kind of sport, that's kind of how they start. Like their parents are like, "You're not gonna sit at home all day. Go outside, figure it out." Because I don't want to see you until the street lights come on. So,
Exactly, exactly.
but was that like your first experience ever with golf, or have you like been out there with your dad before?
No, so that was like my first experience. But when we were kids, you use a stick and you hit something or something like that. So I guess it was like that was like an informal introduction. My first like formal introduction was my dad when I was 10. So yeah, that's what I called my start in the game. That's what I call it.
So, were you naturally good, or like, and your dad was like, "Oh, wait, we may have something here," or did it take you like a little time to like gain your skills and things like that?
So I was a natural. So
Okay.
I was a natural. So, and it's crazy with golf because golf is so hard. So, when you hear, natural talent, it's special. But yeah, I was a natural, self-taught until I came to college. So really was just out there every day, just figuring it out on my own. I'd watch some YouTube videos sometimes and stuff like that to maybe help. But I was really just a natural at it. Just had a knack for hitting the ball.
Speaking about college, like you decided to go to FAMU and play golf there. How does like getting recruited for golfing work?
So recruiting for golf, it's tough. It's it's very expensive, believe it or not. Because with golf, what you have to do to get recruited is you have to play in a lot of high level tournaments, or just a lot of tournaments in general. And most tournaments require, travel costs, entry fees, golf balls, golf gloves, clothes. There's a whole bunch of expenses. So it's super, super expensive. But, you know, one thing that also helps too is joining programs. For example, I joined because I moved to Orlando when I was in 11th grade, and I joined the Orlando Minority Youth Golf Association,
Mm-hmm.
ran by Dr. TJ Dorsey. And, through, connections that Dr. Dorsey had with, FAMU and all the other HBCU golf network, he was able to, talk to some of the guys and give me some looks from coaches. And that was mainly how I got recruited. But, I went the route of just playing in tournaments and, just trying to email coaches and things of that nature. But, I just gotten some small D2 offers and some D3 offers in like Missouri or like, those or New York. I had a couple in New York and I was like, I don't want to, I'm not
I
going to
don't
be
want to
playing golf.
go to the
Exactly.
Hamptons and play golf every day.
It's man, that Hamptons would be nice though.
That's true.
But nah, but it was more, you can only play golf so many months out the year because it's so cold up there. So I was like, all right, let's see what we can do. And then, by the grace of God, my current coach came through and, offered me a scholarship to FAMU. So I was like, hey, I'll take it.
Florida, why not? And I mean, that's close to
Exactly.
like home anyway. So why would you even want to?
Yeah, exactly. 4 hour drive from the crib. So I mean,
No better offer. And since you got into FAMU, y'all had a very special year last year. That's kind of how I found you and your team and things like that. So you won the Mid Eastern Atlantic Conference for like the first time ever. How was that experience? I saw on the thing it said y'all won by 19 strokes. I have absolutely no idea what that means, but I assume it's good. So,
yeah. So okay, to put that into perspective, and my coach said this the other day because that's always everybody's first question when they hear we went 19 strokes. They're like, I don't know what that means. So like that's like imagine you're playing a football game and the final score would be like 60-7. Like
mm-hmm.
so that's kind of how dominant it was. Um,
Okay.
so like imagine like we won by like 53 points in football. That's kind of what it was. But yeah, so it was an amazing experience, man. It was we've been working so hard. I was there 5 years. And we've gotten close, but we can never get it. And for that group of guys and all in our last stand too, because that was everybody on the team. That was our final year. So we were like, all right, we gotta make some shake. And to just win it and go down in history. I mean, and get a ring. I mean, I was more excited about the ring than anything. I mean, of course we had that like, and even on my Instagram, you can see I'm holding a really big trophy. Like, first of all, that trophy is much heavier than it looks. Let me just start there. But like, well, like, yeah, I mean, we were all so happy. I mean, it was something that was in our visions from freshman year. So just to see it come to fruition, it was an amazing experience. We celebrated, we worked, we sacrificed. There's so much time, effort, and heartbreak that went into that trophy. So, you know, just so proud of the guys, so proud of myself for even being in that position. It's just I'm so happy. I'm so happy we were able to do it. We went down in history. It's the first time that FAMU ever made an appearance in the NCAA tournament. So I mean, it was just a history filled year, and I couldn't be happier or more happy to be a part of it. So
Yeah, that's like those storybook endings you see on TV. Like senior year, you accomplish all the things you couldn't do before. You got an extra shot because of like COVID and all this stuff. So it was like, let's just really hallmark this one up for him in a way.
exactly,
But I
exactly.
mean, and the whole trophy thing, I always thought those things looked heavy, but like people were like putting them on top of their heads, and I'm like, maybe it's not really made of like metals and things.
No, it's made of pure wood. They just chopped the tree down and shaped it and gave it to us.
Don't get a
Nah,
splinter.
nah. So yeah, no. But that adrenaline though, yeah, like it was heavy. Like the next day was when I realized I was like, ooh, we had to take it through the airport too on the way back to Tallahassee. So we were all like, yeah, I don't feel like carrying this through the airport. Like,
Nose goes.
so yeah, nose goes exactly. So we made our assistant coach do it.
And
So yeah,
And I mean, it's better to like be more excited about your ring any too because it's not like you can keep the trophy anyway. So,
exactly.
so
Exactly. Yeah. So we're getting those in October at a football game, and I can't wait. I
oh, that's
can't
gonna be
wait.
cool. Is it like gonna be like
Yeah.
during homecoming?
No, it's not gonna be during homecoming. No, no,
Oh,
no, no, no. I
they're
wish
like they're like
that.
y'all ain't that special.
It's like, yeah, y'all might have won MEAC and took us to the tournament for the first time, but y'all still aren't that special.
Not quite. Y'all win the NCAA, and then
And
maybe
then
we'll
we
talk
could talk.
about
Then we could talk.
homecoming. So how did your ring fittings go? I've never won anything to win a ring for.
Oh no. Well, the ring fitted. The ring. We didn't even have a ring fitting. We had to do it ourselves. So,
That's so
I.
janky.
It was real janky, and the way I measured my finger was real janky too. Because I think I was at my internship in Jacksonville, and I was like, oh, I gotta get this quick. And I think all of like all of the ring stores, like jewelry stores, like Zales and like
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff, they were closed, so I couldn't go and get it there. So I looked up online. I was like, okay, how do you measure your ring size without without going there? So I ended up getting like a ruler, and I just measured my like the width of
Oh gosh.
And then I like rounded up, so like just in case I did it wrong, it would still kind of fit. And then as you get older too,
Yeah.
your joints and they get bigger, they expand. So yeah, that's how I did it. It was real funny. Now I look back on it because I never really thought about how janky and how like
You
unorthodox
measured
I
a
did it.
round thing with a
Yeah,
ruler. Like, that's not
yeah,
how it works.
yeah. No, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You had to get it done.
I mean, push come to shove, you can just put on a necklace and wear it around your neck.
Exactly. Just boom.
This is
That's actually a really good idea though. Like,
I mean,
you know,
we're here to solve problems around here at Her Sports
oh
Convo.
yeah, oh yeah.
How do you train for golf? Like, I feel like, y'all obviously are a form of athletes, but I feel like, you're not in the weight room every day, because I feel like that wouldn't make any sense, but maybe you are. Just tell us so I don't put my foot in my mouth anymore.
No, you're good. You're good. I get this all the time. Everybody's like, golf isn't a sport. Y'all aren't athletes. But, and it's crazy because golfers really like we do stay in the weight room. So like a normal, I guess, how I get better or how I train is, I'll do, I mean, we do a lot of weights, a lot of stretching, because in golf, you want to make sure that your core and your legs, well, mainly your core is stable. So we do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ab workouts, a lot of leg workouts. We don't really focus too much on the chest. That's just more personal stuff if you want to look buff or whatever. But no, but we focus mainly on the core because it's so important because the core and the legs are where you get your power and your stability, which helps you, hit it further and straighter. So that's those are muscle groups that we really focus on. So most guys are in the gym working on that. Also, we cardio. We do a lot of cardio. Got to make sure your endurance is up because you think about it, you're out there, walking a couple miles for 4 hours, and you're supposed to be competitive for all 4 hours. So, if your body starts to feel tired, then your mind feels overworked, and then your mind gets tired, and then you just start playing bad. So you got to make sure that your endurance is up. So we do a lot of cardio, and also we do a lot of stretching. So stretching, you need your flexibility because if you can't have your flexibility, then you can't turn, you
Yeah, that
can't
makes
hit the
sense.
ball. Exactly. So we do a lot of stretching. A lot of us are very flexible. That's one thing that I'm working on mainly because I'm a bigger, stronger guy. So it's harder for me to turn. So that's what I'm currently focusing on is stretching. But the actual technical part of it, that was just the athletic part of it or the athletic side. But the technical part of it, golf is such a hard game. We're just out there beating balls, around the greens, just for hours on end of day. I mean, yeah, right after I get off this podcast, I'm about to go and beat some balls and then probably play with some of my friends later. But yeah, it's a lot of time and effort you put into it and making sure you're just practicing the right things out there. At a certain point in golf, you know, it just becomes a really small thing that you need to work on that separates you from. And I think this is in a lot of sports,
Mm-hmm.
the really small things, the small details that most people overlook. You have to work on those, and that's mainly what separates you from the other guy. Because I mean, you're both out there the same amount of time, same amount of things. So it's just who works smarter at this point because we've all worked hard to get to the point where I can play a professional sport, and you can play a professional sport. But now is about who works smarter and doing the things that you need to do to keep excelling and keep getting better.
In most sports, people have like specialized areas. Like, you're like, oh, I'm good at, taking free throws. He's on the team because he's a good defender. She's on the team because she's like a good team player. She likes everybody, stuff like that. So when it comes to golf, do you feel like people have like specializations, like, oh, they're good at using X club when they're on X course?
Yeah, most definitely. So the thing about golf is that it's individual, so your game is individual. So I mean, the team, when you have a team, it's more about getting guys that they specialize in things, but overall they're still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for example, my specialization is I hit the ball really far, and I also am really good at short shots around the green. So that was like my specialization. But some other guys like my teammate, Mahendra Lutchman. He's really good. He's very consistent. Like everything he hits is dead straight, like all the time and just all day. And then my teammate, Moby Dillard, another the one thing he does really well is, he has a really pretty swing. So he hits the ball perfect every time, just perfect. And then my other teammate, Prince Cunningham, he's just his mental game sets him apart. Like he'll hit the ball. Sometimes he'll hit the ball all over the place, but he'll still probably get a lower score than you on the whole. And it's just like I don't
That's not
know,
fair.
but it's not for the weak, the faint of heart. But yeah, we all have our different specializations. So but you got to make sure that you still work on everything, so you're still a complete package, and you're not just that one thing you specialize in.
Most
That's how I kind of
definitely.
look to go. Yeah.
Because, like, if you just were good at hitting it straight and far, then you wouldn't be good at curvy courses. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true.
So you studied mechanical engineering.
I
That's
did.
that's not something a lot of people, decide, hey, I'm gonna go to college and take probably one of the hardest courses and
Yeah,
be a student athlete at the same time. So tell us about that.
man, I did not know what I was thinking, but no, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have a passion for engineering. I was always one of those kids where I was always tinkering with stuff, so I'd take stuff off, and then I wonder how things would work. So I was like, in school doing mechanical engineering and actually starting to make those things, that would be pretty awesome. Very hard major. A lot of with a sport like golf that takes up so much time in a major like that, you really don't have time for anything else. Um, I've had a lot of times where I'm on the bus going to a tournament. I'm on my laptop, doing work, or I'm studying with one of my books, or after we have a long day, I'm up till 2, 3 a.m. doing homework and studying. And so, I mean, I just made sacrifices.
Yeah.
I'd rather work hard at something I love now and then enjoy, reap the benefits of my labor later than, don't work as hard as I would like now and then just have to work for it, later on in life. But later on in life, I want to be chilling on the yacht somewhere, just playing
Vibing, just
golf,
vibing.
vibing, just vibes, playing golf, eating good food. But but yeah, so one thing that really brought it through for me was my passion. I just had a passion for golf and I had a passion for engineering. And when days got dark, when I felt overwhelmed, that's kind of what brought me through. So it's doable. I mean, anybody out there listening, if you're thinking about doing it's definitely doable, but you got to make some sacrifices for it.
You
It's
gotta
worth it
do
though.
what you gotta do so you can do what you want to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
And sometimes, what you want to do, you probably shouldn't be doing anyway. So
Very true.
I saw you did this video with the note laying up, guys, and you looked like when you got out of that car, you were like, what did I get myself into? But I'm ready to just kind of, play golf and figure out whatever happens.
Yeah, yeah, that was a very interesting experience. It was crazy because my coach texted me one day. He was like, "Yeah, so these guys, they want to play golf with one of you guys, and I thought you'd be a good match for them." I was like, "Okay, I'm always down to play golf with new people or whatever." So I get there, first and foremost, the weather is awful.
Awful. I
Like
was going to say, it was
it
gray.
was it was gray, it was cold, it was rainy, it was wet everywhere, and I was like, oh man, like this sucks. I hate it. It was literally like 50 something degrees. I know I had like shorts on, but I was so cold. Oh man, I was so cold. But then you start talking to the guys and they pull up with their cameras and their drones, and then I'm like, oh, this could be a pretty fun day.
Hmm.
Well, not just because they had cameras and drones, but because they were cool dudes. They came up, they were really they really wanted to hear my story and
Hmm.
really wanted to connect with me, and that's one thing that I love about those guys now. And I'm actually wearing one of their shirts right now, laying up shirt.
Oh,
Yeah, they're the first guys who actually sponsored me on my journey. So,
that's
you
dope.
know,
Shout out to them. I'll put their
yeah,
link in the description, y'all.
yeah, shout out to No Laying Up, most definitely. But Yeah, they're amazing guys, man. They put their money where their mouth is. They wanted to know about discrimination and my stripes and challenges of playing golf. Not just
Mm-hmm.
not just amateurly, but trying to go professional and just everyday life in golf. Because I mean, you don't see many colored people playing golf.
Yeah.
You just don't see it. So it's a very traditionalist sport, and when traditionalists feel like things are changing, they start to act a
Tighten up.
different way,
Mm-hmm.
tighten up, exactly. So had a lot of experiences with that, and talked to them about that, and they were like, we want to help you guys. So right after that video, they put our foundation sponsor link, and I think maybe 2 weeks after that video, there was like 8 grand in there, just like that.
Whoa.
And we were like, whoa. And then they also sell merchandise. So they made towels and I think a shirt that were FAMU colors, and all the proceeds from that actually go back to FAMU golf.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so they really put their money where their mouth is, and shoot, even them, you know, starting to sponsor me. Like, they didn't have to do that. So yeah, I owe those guys a lot. You know, I'm always gonna be in their corner no matter what's happening. You know what I'm saying? They good in my books. They good in my family's books. They good in everybody who know me. They good with no laying up. Like those are my guys. So yeah, shout out to No Laying Up. You guys can go to their website, get you a shirt. They got a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of good stuff.
And I mean, that's also good to see, because change does happen when people, bond together, but especially when the people who are the traditionalists or the people who were there first, I'm putting this in quotation marks for anyone who's not watching, they are the people that really makes, that really helps, the change come. And the fact that, especially when you put your money behind what the things you're saying, that's really how you get things done. And it's exciting to see people doing that, especially for the game of golf. I mean, I have, no intentions ever played it, but I feel like a lot of people, especially in their quarantine activities, they were, reaching out and doing things like playing golf or things like that because that's something you could do spread out against people. And I just know one of the things that I just don't like why do you have to wear the khaki pants? One, because I hate khaki pants. I hate them on men, I hate them on women, I hate them on non-binary people. I just don't understand who sat at home, decided like I'm going to use a starch fabric and put it on my body and make this basically a requirement for everywhere.
I'm dead. That's so funny. Cause honestly, I'm not in love with them either.
See, I'm
No,
not the only one, y'all.
no, not at all. I like some of those days, like some of the more like lax courses, you can get away with wearing like, maybe a collared shirt and some basketball shorts or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You would look kind of ridiculous, but
Because that would
you can
match,
do it.
but
It wouldn't match, but but yeah, no, it's just that was a tradition that, people just never veered away from. Now, you see people like some of the professional golfers, and this shows you how traditionalist that golf is. So there's some golfers on tour. I think Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas. They started wearing like hoodies, but they were like their sponsors hoodies. So Rory had like a Nike hoodie, and then Justin had a polo hoodie, but they were wearing it like at a golf tournament, and then everyone was like, "Oh, this is blasphemy! Why are you wearing a hoodie?" And I'm like,
it's
it was
cold
cold,
outside.
like it was like 45 degrees. Do y'all play golf in 45-degree weather? Because I've definitely wore a hoodie playing 45-degree weather golf. So and it was just like some of those things, like them not wanting change. I think that needs to change, but I don't ever think they'll ever veer away from khaki pants, navy pants, black pants. You can switch up to khaki pants or whatever, but and polo shirts, that'll never, and the hat. Gotta get
Oh
the hat
yes,
and the
the
belt,
Titleist
the hat and the
Titleist hat.
belt, the Titleist hat, Nike hat, whatever type of hat, no laying up hat. So yeah, I don't think that'll ever change. But yeah, I kind of like it sometimes. I feel real professional.
Oh yeah. we're gonna open up our own golf course, and we're gonna have our own dress code. And it's
Of
gonna
course.
be we're gonna have the best golf course in America. People are gonna be Pebble Beach. Who is she?
Who is Pebble Beach? Who is Augusta? Augusta? Nah, nah.
No. Canceled. We
Cancel.
found better. We've created
Exactly.
better. He was just out here having a good time, paying us unnecessary amount of money. Because I don't know how much a club membership is, but I feel like it's a lot, and
It,
ours is going
it,
to be even more.
oh yeah, and they're gonna pay it too.
Most definitely. We're gonna have a yearly fee, not a monthly fee. So
Oh yeah,
they
no,
got
we
to
gonna
pay it
have
all
a
up front.
exactly all up front. We need all that money right now.
Who would be someone you would want to play golf with? Like you're like, oh, I play golf with them. That's peak. Anything else after that is downhill.
Well, it's got to be Tiger, doesn't it?
I mean, you could have said Michael Jordan because I feel like that would be fun.
Michael Jordan. That would be real fun. He'd probably take all my money though. No, he wouldn't. He'd try to.
Oh
I know
yeah,
I heard he's a huge gambler on the golf course. Michael Jordan.
you could swing him. Like I think you could swing him. You could be like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's play for like 1,000, and then
Mm,
and then like you're up. No, because like he'd be like, I don't really know this kid. I'm gonna get one over on him,
exactly.
and then
Exactly.
you're like double or nothing, and then you end up walking away from 2,000 for Michael Jordan.
That'd be cool. I would honestly do that though. But yeah, MJ. Yeah, that would actually be a really good one. But I think it's just the I just want to play with someone I can really just pick their brain the whole time
Mm-hmm.
we're playing, and it would be Tiger because
Yeah.
like he was so dominant. Like I don't people don't really understand like how dominant he was. He was so dominant that people that knew nothing about golf or ever
New
watched
Tiger.
golf knew Tiger. Like you don't hear about that anymore. Like especially with golf because
Yeah,
with
I
Rory
know like
and
some people in golf. Like I'm pretty Jordan Spieth. Like
yeah.
I can
So
flex my
like
golf muscles. They're not that strong, but I can flex them a little bit.
yeah. So like Tiger was just so dominant and just getting to take his brain and seeing what he did to be that dominant. Yeah, it would have to be Tiger. But like yeah, or like non golf related, I would play with Will Smith because
Oh
Will Smith is
yeah.
a big golfer and Dwayne Wade. Ooh, can I
We're
have
just
a
right. We're just
foursome?
making a list. We're just
And
making
we're
a
just gonna make
list.
a list. Yeah, I'm gonna play with D Wade. D Wade is my favorite basketball player ever, and he's got the golf bug, so I love to play with him. Um, Will Smith because it's Will Smith. Like yeah, that's Will Smith. Jada could even be there too because I love Jada. I love Jada's quick thinking quick too. I mean,
We can just
we
invite
could
the whole
just
family. We can invite the whole
invite the whole
family.
family. Jaden, Willow, come on, let's just go ahead and play. But yeah, so yeah, those are the people that I want to play with.
Because I feel like golf on TV, obviously it's like competitive, and I feel like that's where people like don't like because you have to be quiet and you have to like let y'all focus and things like that. But I also feel like if it wasn't as stiff, which is like the tradition, and you get kind of to like the more sides that you see, like you came in today and you said like you get to meet people and you get to learn about people, and that's kind of why I wanted you to have it up here so people could see like there it's not just people hitting balls walking around. And talking about walking around, like in regular golf courses they have like carts. Why can't y'all use carts? I don't understand.
Because okay, well, tradition one, two, like especially when you play tournaments with when you have cameras on you and all that type of stuff,
Mm,
it makes it much easier if you're walking. Walking also tests more of your ability to play well and really test your athleticism because golf courses are I mean it's you're walking it's a lot of walking. Like
yeah.
people think it's not that much, but the average golf course length is about 3 miles, 3.5 miles.
Jesus.
So like I remember once I was so what we do in golf is that we play in college, we played 2 rounds in one day because they want to get in as many rounds as possible. So two rounds of 18 holes in one day, which is
A
honestly
lot.
a lot. It's a lot and it's ridiculous. But I remember I had my phone in my back pocket or in my bag or something. As I was walking, I was like, let me check how many steps I've taken. And it was like 25,000 steps or something absurd. And I was like, all right, well, yeah. If anybody whoever tells me that golf isn't a sport, I'm gonna show them this.
I mean, because
So,
it's not even like y'all are walking on like flat. Like y'all are going up like
you know,
hills
up,
and like different.
down, side, just all over the place, man. It's yeah, but yeah. So that's the main reasons, just to test a little bit more of your athleticism and your endurance, and then also cameras, because it's hard to get somebody walking down wherever, and they're just driving their car. Like
They're like
you just
zoom.
can't get it. It's hard. Exactly. You can't get it. You just like you can't get a good shot of that. So yeah, that's some of the main reasons we walk.
Yeah, we're gonna change that on our golf course as well.
Yeah, no, it's cards. It's cards
It,
only.
carts only, no walking allowed.
No walking. No walking allowed. No. You hit the ball out of the cart too. Don't
Yeah,
even think about stepping foot on the grass.
literally don't touch the grass. Like full on Princess Diaries, the sirens come on, you touch the grass.
The floor is lava. You remember that trend?
Yeah.
Yeah, the floor is lava. Don't get out the cart.
So the last thing we always do up here is we play a game of I say a word or a phrase, and you tell us the first thing that comes to your mind, and or a story that goes with it. So your first word is golf.
Fun.
Your next word is NPR Tiny Desk Concerts.
Oh, Mac Miller. Mac Miller. Oh my God. Actually, I have a couple words. I got a story. Mac Miller's NPR Tiny Desk was on replay like 2 whole days. Like, I'm not even exaggerating.
It's iconic. I love it.
I love it that much. Another NPR Tiny Desk I love, No Name.
Have you heard
Uh,
Anthony Hamilton's NPR Tiny Desk concert?
no, I haven't. No, I
So
got
good. It
okay.
is so good.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that. I got to. I love those. Chance the Rappers, Tyler the Creators,
Yep.
Burna Boys, because I'm really big on Afro beats and dancehall music. So yeah. Oh.
I would love to go see one, but you have to work at NPR, so like it's
Ah.
like,
Yeah.
because it's literally like a backspace in their offices that they
Mhm.
play it, and like
Yeah, and it looks like it too. Like it's crazy.
it's like somebody like put these bookshelves up in a corner and was like, let's
Yeah.
do something over here.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one though. Oh my gosh, I'm about to watch some.
There's some iconic ones, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, hers is good, but she plays her old music. That's why I like it. Like her
Okay,
old, like
okay,
All Too Well, the 10-minute version. Oh, love that. And
okay.
your last thing is J.R. Smith, the golfer.
Ah, good for the sport. Yeah. It's crazy that when that news broke, it kind of took over the HBCU golf world. We were all like in my old group chat, we were like, oh, J.R. Smith is going to NCAT. Like we play against NCAT, so most of the guys on the team now
You
are
call
more
it
excited.
NCAT?
Yeah, that's what we call it, NCAT, North Carolina A&T, just
That's
NCAT.
wild. I've never heard anyone call it that before. Because
Really?
like I'm from North Carolina, we just call it A&T.
A&T. Oh yeah, A&T. That they call it that too. But I call it
That's
me and my teammate. We
wild.
we call it NCAT because we're not from North Carolina, so we just say NCAT.
Like,
No,
but
but
the
yeah,
500 different ways you could break that down, and you chose NCAT. Like,
NCAT, NCAT, NCAT. Yeah, yeah. We're making stuff up here. This is what we do. This is what we do. Nah, with J.R. Smith going to NCAT, that's so huge for the sport. Is especially HBCU golf and HBCU golf like near FAMU too, because they're in our conference, or they were in our conference. We just switched to the SWAC, but they were in our conference. So it's huge for the guys. I know guys are excited because they're gonna get to play with J.R. Smith, and a lot of guys that play HBCU golf are real big into basketball. So playing with a champion, I mean, that's just gonna be dope. But it's bigger too. I mean, it puts us on a bigger stage. More people, there'll be more eyes on. I still
what in
say
the
us
world is
because
J.R. Smith gonna do?
exactly everybody's gonna be like, how is J.R. Smith playing? Like, and then they're gonna look, and then they're gonna see that whoever's in the lead is a couple under par, and they're gonna see,
Mm-hmm.
oh, so these guys can play a little bit, and then it's gonna be a snowball effect. So I think it's really good for the game. A lot of basketball guys are really, really wanting to, get involved with HBCU golf. I mean, Steph Curry with Howard,
Mm-hmm.
um, So, and I know there's a couple other guys that want to start, some stuff. They're talking about some stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, we need it. We need we need the facilities. We need the resources. I mean, golf's an expensive game, and HBCUs, they really don't think golf is a priority. They don't see us, as the top athletes. But I mean, last year on our campus, we were the best team. Like, we were the only people that won a MEAC championship. So we were the best team on campus.
Drop the mic.
So
I
that's
mean,
that's all I got to say. That's all
the
I got to
math
say
is
about
not
that.
adding up. The math is not adding up.
It's not mathing. It's not mathing.
It's really not. Thanks again for coming up here, Cameron. Tell everyone where they can find you on the internet, on the interwebs.
You can find me at Cammy_Cams on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can find me Cameron Riley if you want. But yeah, no, yeah, I appreciate you having me on here. Anybody want to get in contact with me or whatever, just hit me up. I'm always open to talk. Always open, young people who want to know about college golf, or anybody who wants to get into the game. You guys can hit me up, and we can get that done. Just trying to grow the game, just trying to educate more about golf. So I'm always open. I'm all ears. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming. Be safe, have fun, and don't be afraid to join the convo.